Hey everybody, my name is Anthony. This is Dogwood Hill Homestead. Welcome to the homestead. Got some projects going on today. If you've been following us, you know we've had a lot of wet weather and we've not been able to get in the garden to get the weeds out. Well, today we somewhat rectified that situation. As you can see, we got her tilled, most of it, except for one thing. If you'll notice, between the rows did not get tilled, and the reason that is, I'll show you right now. This is our Cub Cadet rear tine tiller, being repowered with a Predator engine. So this is what we use to go in between the rows. Well, started tilling with it, then lo and behold, this happened. At some point, the tube went flat and came off the bead and jacked it all up. So here shortly I'm gonna be taking this off, seeing how badly the tube is damaged, and possibly ordering a new tube. And that's unfortunate because today is the day. It is time to trellis these tomatoes. We already have tomato plants that are starting to sprawl, starting to fall over, and they need to be trellised. So we're just gonna have to move on, and we'll have to weed in between each plant the old-fashioned way with a hoe. So this morning, went ahead and got T-posts up. So we have driven 25 T-posts in the ground, and this is what we're gonna use this year to do our Florida weave. This year we're going back to Florida weave. Last year we staked each plant individually, and that was kind of a nightmare. So this year we're going back to the Florida weave. We found the Florida weave is the simplest way to trellis a lot of tomatoes. Let me show you how it works. So as you can see with Florida weave, you put your posts in every other plant depending on your spacing, and you start at the bottom and you weave. So you go tied to the end stake, you go inside the plant, around the stake, outside the plant, and you weave back and forth all the way down. When you get to the end, you just turn back around and you weave in the opposite direction. That's why it's called the Florida weave. And what it does is it produces this interwoven trellis system. We're using, this is baling twine. We've been using this for years, using the same roll of baling twine for about 4 years. But this is a good way, if you have a lot of plants, this is a great way to trellis a lot of plants quickly. Once we got the posts in the ground, it only took us about 30-45 minutes to trellis them. We made 2 runs on each row. First row we have cages, so we didn't do the Florida weave system on the first row, but we started second row, third row, and the fourth row all have the Florida weave system. I'm going to pull this wheel off. It's not a 1/2 inch. It is a 7/16. Prop this side up. Get this wheel off. Slide off. So this wheel is really stuck. I'm about an hour in on this little project. Finally, with enough heat and juice, I think I've gotten it loose. Put that down. There we go. Victory! I've been out here trying to get that wheel off for the last hour. I used all my propane, used about my entire bottle of penetrating oil, and finally got it off. And my beautiful wife brought lunch out to me. Ham sandwich, my favorite. All right, so the next project that I'm going to tackle today is installing this overrunning clutch. There's a long story about me and overrun clutches. I had a good one, and I lost it when I lost my half PTO shaft transporting my tractor one day. And I bought a cheap one that lasted about a couple weeks. I finally broke down and bought a decent one. This is one from Tractor Supply. It's a county line. A little different type. This one uses a pin through the tractor PTO. Fairly simple to install. I'm going to show you how to install that. A few tools you're going to need. A little penetrating oil will help get the pin started. You're going to need something to drive the pin, something to hold the pin as you get it started. You're going to need a 7/16 inch wrench to take the grease arc off, the grease fitting, and put it back on when we're done. And something else to drive the pin home. I couldn't find any of my punches, so I'm just going to have to use this 1/4 inch adapter. And then after we're done, we're going to be filling it up with grease. First thing I'm going to do is just PTO shaft off. We're going to take at least one of these grease fittings off. We're going to use the 7/16 wrench. Just unscrew it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on, just get it started on the PTO shaft, twist it until I line it with the hole. All right, now I have the outer sleeve where we took this grease arc out. You have to make sure that that is lined up with your spring pin, and so I'm going to pull the spring pin out. All right, so change of plans. I went ahead and pulled both of the grease arcs out, so that way I can make sure we are perfectly lined up with the PTO shaft. We're just going to drive this pin down through. All right, that was the hardest part of that. If I would have had a good punch, it wouldn't have been that difficult. Whew, guys, it has been a rough one today, but at least got a couple of good projects done. It's 1:30, been out here since about 5:30 this morning. So it's been a long day. I'm gonna close out this video and go inside, take a shower, and enjoy the rest of my afternoon. Hope this inspires you to get out there and grow something, get out there and raise something. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.